Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cluster API Provider AWS office hours on Monday, the 22nd of August, 2022. Just a reminder that we abide by the CNCF Code of Conduct, so please be kind to each other. I've shared the meeting notes in the chat window. Please add yourself to the list of attendees and any agenda items or points of discussion that you would like to talk about in this meeting. If you don't have access to the document, you will need to join the Kubernetes SIG cluster Lifecycle Google group. But I can imagine everyone on this list has access to it. There's only a small number of us here, but please use the raise hands feature if you'd like to talk, just to facilitate the discussion. And if this is your first meeting and you'd like to say hello, please unmute yourself. I don't see, I potentially see a couple of people, but yeah, feel free to unmute and say hello. Go for it, Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Kujaran. I'm with Adobe. Just thought I'd say hi real quick. We're looking at CAPI for all of our builds, both AWS and other cloud providers. You should expect to see a lot more of me in all of these sessions.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome. Yeah, if you ever need anything, yeah, feel free to reach out to any of us.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else would like to introduce themselves? Go once. Going twice. Cool. We can move on. So PSAs, I don't know if this was covered last week by or 2 weeks ago by SIG, but release v1.50 has been done. I can't remember if that was, I don't know if that was, I was away. So yeah, it's out there with quite a lot of changes in there, and the garbage collection experimental feature as well. So yeah, there's already been a request for a change to the garbage collector, which I'm going to work on this week as well. Cool. So moving on to the action items from 2 weeks ago. So Abhinav and Sadef, there was a action item to create a periodic job for the image creation.
Yes, for this one, we need to request an AWS account from someone, which I don't know who, for publishing the AMIs. So I didn't do anything about it yet, so I need to follow up.
Cool. Was this the discussion around that office hours for the GitHub management? Yes. Every month or however long it is?
Yeah, I joined their last month's meeting, and it is clear now that it is because of the GitHub org level like settings. They don't allow us to create PRs. So now at least we know that we have to go and do the workaround where we use the periodic pro job and do our build our images like that. So
okay. Yeah, fun. Cool. Cheers, Sadef. So move. Shall I take that across as an action item for this week as well? Yeah, I will. Cool. Brilliant. So moving on to the other agenda items. So I added one around machine pools and launch templates based on I think it was a comment from Winnie. Let's just open it up. It was, yeah. So there's currently a change being made by Richard Chen around adding launch template support to AWS managed machine pools. So currently we don't use launch templates. We just create the EKS node group. But there's been various requests that we support launch templates. Now, as a result of this, there was a discussion here and as to whether we should deprecate a few of the fields at the machine pool level. and only have them available via launch templates, and therefore we always use launch templates going forwards, or should we still support this dual means to create the EKS node group? So some fields that are not within the launch template, but on the machine pool level, like AMI type, or not. So that's more of a, I don't know, did people have thoughts on this?
Yeah, so Richard, so from my side, I don't have strong opinions, and I know that the proposer that accompanies this launch template support for AWS managed machine pool actually say we want to deprecate this field, and when we support this. But just like looking at discussion with Richard Chen and like thinking about this, I know that for auto scaling group, launch template is a requirement, but the AWS managed machine pool that creates EKS node group, you don't really need launch template, right? Because the EKS itself creates launch template if it's not provided. So I was just wondering whether we in Kappa we wanna make it mandatory, or like we want to support both cases.
Yeah, it's a good question. So yeah, so when I wrote the proposal, I did say that we would deprecate the fields and we would explicitly create launch templates, whether that is we generate a default one within Kappa if the user doesn't supply one. That was my original thought, just because I thought it would be slightly cleaner in the long run when we've deprecated these fields, and then we only have like launch template fields in one place. But yeah, I'm not wedded to that approach. So yeah, a bit like you, Winnie, I'm sort of sat on the fence with this one. Okay, well, if anyone has any thoughts over time, feel free to ping them onto the issue, or on this issue, or the proposal issue, and maybe we can chat again, or just catch up informally via Slack on it. Cool. So the next agenda item is GoGo. Over to you.
Yeah. Hi. So I did a lot of research regarding unmanaged clusters with IPv6, and I found some correlations between the Azure's IPv6 implementation, as in I seen how and why they added some kubeadm parameters, and then scoured the web over in Kubernetes land to find anything related to port sizers, the port siders and service siders, and found. Oh, Mike, your hand is up. So sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I clicked the lower hand from earlier. I guess I never did. My bad.
Okay. No problem. So found the values and found a bunch of documentations about how to set up kubeadm, and it's not very user friendly, to say the least. Like you basically, in order to get it working perfectly, you would need to know the exact CIDR notation of the subnet in which the node gets assigned to, which you don't know because it's kind of random. But I did manage to get it working. That said, I did manage to get it working. I wrote everything down in the guide, in the book that is attached to the PR. So if anyone has a better insight than that, like CIDR notations for services are kept at a certain level, and that caused like a bunch of problems with kubeadm assigning cider addresses to services. But there is no workaround. There are several issues open in Kubernetes that deal with this. And I found one comment saying that, yeah, we'll leave this for now because the cider and networking part of Kubernetes is changing rather quickly. So we won't bother in fixing or implementing that issue. It's like, okay, fine. I guess EKS has a better way into this because they absolutely control the node and the network, so they know beforehand all that's needed. But yeah, that's all I had. So if anyone has a better insight into unmanaged clusters and networking, we would appreciate some feedback.
Go for it, Steph.
So there's a way to automatically get the cider from AWS, right? Is it a possibility to like fill out the pod cider, service cider, but after that is like set, we can pause the cluster reconciliation until we get the IPv6 cider, and then do the rest?
Good question. Maybe, yes. It would it would definitely help in one segment of the problem, which is defining the cider for pods and services. However, it doesn't help you when you define the kubeadm service cider ranges and the Calico configuration, in which you have to define the same IPv6 cider address for Calico to assign to.
So actually, Calico configuration is not the initial problem of Kappa. Like, I mean, it is user responsibility. Once the cluster is up, they need to figure out the settings and set the proper ciders. So I think we shouldn't talk much about Calico, but more like, why is it not possible for kubeadm? Because kubeadm, we can fill out the kubeadm settings. Since we are bringing up the infrastructure first before doing anything related to kubeadm, we can go and fill out the kubeadm fields once we know more about the cider.
Won't that cause diffs in the applied and the existing configurations? So if someone, for example, reapplies the template, it would cause an update.
Yeah, it is a bad way, but I don't know. We need to go and patch the kubeadm config actually. Yeah.
Are we just the first provider to look at implementing IPv6 on the unmanaged side?
I think so. As far as I could tell, the Azure one works solely with Azure, but maybe I'm wrong there.
So it's conceivable that we may need changes upstream in the kubeadm bootstrapper as well to make this easier.
Well, possible. But as an interesting side note, in the sample YAML in the Azure guide, there are like 2 or 3 bugs actually, because they set a value that's not settable, and kubeadm doesn't allow you to set that, and it's using some invalid API cider notations as well, which aren't actually like valid IPv6 ciders. But I guess it's just a sample, so it's probably fine.
But they have a test though, IPv6 test. They have been running that test for a while now, that I know.
Right. Does that
Their templates are different than the intent template. Maybe they have the older version. They didn't update their templates.
I, 'cause, 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 '
Yeah, I don't see it in the.
Yeah, possible. I'll take a look at the end-to-end test. Maybe even ping them if they encountered these issues. And what did they do about them? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll pop over. Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll pop over into the Azure cluster provider chat and ask some folks about unmanaged and IPv6. Yeah,
Also,
that's a good shout.
they have a meeting on Thursdays at 8 a.m. I think we can join their meeting and ask for feedback maybe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
check the timing. We're talking about changing it to 9 a.m. specific. So the time may be in flux by the next one.
Cool. Right, right. Brilliant. Go on, Steph, go for it.
Sorry, regarding this, if we don't want to block this implementation for EKS side, one thing we can do is to not allow setting IPv6 in the webhooks for AWS cluster and merge it like this. Because right now, users of unmanaged service can set the IPv6, which is a no-op right now. I mean, it is not tested, so
Yep.
at least we should block that.
No, block for the setting it for an unmanaged AWS cluster. Don't allow setting IPv6.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, if we don't want to make a separate release for this one, I already made the V1 beta 2 work. So we can actually, if it is not cherry pick is easy, we can cherry pick it on top of the V1 beta 2. I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, I'll also need to do some rebasing.
Cool. Yeah, so I guess, did you want to go ahead with just the releasing it for EKS initially to give you time to do the managed?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Meanwhile, I will pester the Azure folks, and yeah, let's do it for EKS. I think that's the majority. I don't know. I don't have any data. Do you peeps have anything on usage like unmanaged vs managed?
Anecdotal, if I'm honest. Anecdotally, a lot of people I chat to use EKS side, but then again, that's just you know, I'm a bit biased in that direction, so that's why it's anecdotal.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. Cool. Well, it seems like a good way to go instead of blocking, to get it out there, and then we can get it tested, can't we? So.
Yep.
Do we want to do the release 1.6 or V1 beta 2 release works? Because we need cluster class support, V1 beta 2 for cluster class support, and I am planning to do a release within a week or two for V1 beta 2. I mean, it can be an RC release, by the way. It's just for testing for other people.
Yeah, I guess a release candidate would be fine, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
I can't spell candidate. I'll come back to that. Cool. So I guess on that topic, then let's. Sorry, let me just add that to agenda item before I discuss it. Steph, when you mentioned about doing a release, so that for the cluster class stuff, is this for the unmanaged side or for the EKS unmanaged?
Yes, unmanaged. It is for fixing the co-authoring bug that was supposed to be solved with server-side apply fix in the cluster API. Yeah, it is
Cool.
only for unmanaged. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, because we're probably going to have to bump the version number again, or the API version, sorry, when we do potentially cluster class for EKS. But
I mean, if we decide on the option 2, we can do it together, but option 3 might take a little bit more time depending on your timeline.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Cool. So we still need to follow up on that, don't we? Decide on option 2 versus 3. And it wasn't, yeah, last time it wasn't an either or, was it? It was potentially adopt one and then move over time to the other. Which is, I think, was, we put that out there last time we discussed, but I'm a bit hazy. I have to go back and watch the video again. Cool. I guess, are there any more things that people would like to discuss? Go for it, Mike.
Yeah, I just had a general question, then I meant to put it on the agenda, but I realized I forgot. I had a general question about the status of the scale to zero stuff with Kappa. I had been following an issue and a PR around it, and there was some back and forth and kind of been sticking around for a while. One of the blockers for us is being able to set up either auto scaling groups or machine pools that would be allowed to scale to zero. And I saw there were some changes in CAPI itself for that recently. I was curious where that's going to end up and kind of if anybody was working on that for the AWS side at all.
I think we have a PR open, don't we, for scale to zero? Yeah.
Oh, open 2 hours ago.
Oh.
What do you know?
Okay.
Okay.
That's your handiwork.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, that was me.
Darn it, I guess I wasn't as up to date as I thought I was. Okay, cool. Yeah, because that was one of the blockers for us because we heavily rely on scale to zero. So I guess I'll just be patient then and not ignore my question.
Yeah, I'll try to write an end-to-end test to this thing to be able to run it, and that's the majority of it. But I thought oh wait, that wasn't you, right? In the copy project. No, yeah. Sorry. I talked to some folks in the copy project itself, and basically this is all you have to provide in order to get it working. So hopefully that will work. But the end-to-end test will show it for sure.
Cool. Yeah, we should be able to get this in the next release, then, shall we? Sorry, Mike.
Sorry, I was just saying very exciting. Thank you.
No problem. Me too.
Yeah, Gogo, you're right. It is Mike who's done the scale to zero work upstream. It's a different Mike.
It's a different Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was Mike.
I think there's another interesting one as well related to machine pools, which is this one as well, which is going to be quite interesting. Allow the replica count to be externally managed. So, Autoscaler can manage the replica count and CAPI won't overwrite it. So that could be quite interesting as well. Cool. Well, I think that's the end of the. Oh, Steph, go for it.
Sorry, going back to IPv6 support. Currently in the proposal, so in lots of places it is EKS only design, but in the title and in the motivation, etc., it feels like it is both unmanaged and managed side. I think we should make it clear. Also, It is called IPv6 support, but what we do is, I think, dual stack, right? Not IPv6 only. So it should reflect that in the title.
So yeah, I think
True. Yes,
yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Also, like, dual stack support on I think the title should be on EKS, because
Yeah.
all over the text there's EKS. When someone looks at it, they may think we have support in the unmanaged side as well. We should make that clear.
Mhm.
That's all.
This is a question for Gergely. So on the dual stack, so it's a dual stack VPC, but not a dual stack cluster. Is that right?
Yes, correct. In which case the dual stack might be a bit misleading because it's not Kubernetes dual stack, but the VPC has IPv6 and IPv4 IPs as well. So like the cluster itself, all pods only have IPv6 addresses technically. And the rest is managed by the AWS node and proxy settings and whatnot.
Okay, cool.
And the reason for that is AWS requires it, right? We need IP addressing too. Okay, then yeah. Does it count it as dual stack? Maybe no, right?
Dual VPC maybe. But it's a good question. I think when I started writing IPv6, AWS didn't fully support only IPv6 at that point, but it slowly added that. So now, for example, subnets you can define with only IPv6, but I don't know what that would entail in other configurations around the cluster. I will have to check it.
Cool. But if we take the action item, then just to make sure that the proposal and the PR is clear that it's just for EKS, would that be enough, Sadef? Yeah, cool. Brilliant. All right, that's it again. Any last items? Going once. Oh, Sadef, you still got your hand up, but cool. Going twice, 3 times. Cool. Well, great to see you all, and we'll chat again soon in 2 weeks. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Nice seeing you all. Bye bye.